How was practice in preparation for a big game coming up here?
Yeah, very big game. Defending champs, ×2, supporter shield. Training was good. I mean, sun's out, worked on some things, that we saw from the Cincy game. And then obviously we showed some film today about LAFC, similarities, things we learned, things we want to do better. So it was a good day today.
Did Yaimar go? Did Yaimar? It looked. I'm just looking. Yaimar looked like he was in advanced position from the beginning to the end of the game. Was that organic? Was that?
That's just at the end of the game, Let's throw it up and hope for something good.
Now official. Oh,
Go.
now official. Nouhou getting his contract. Just wanted to get your take on that.
No, you saw his smile. You'll see my smile. I mean, 2016 S2. Was he 18, 19? Had to ask Matt those questions. He came here as a young man, and we've watched him grow up. Now he's still a young man in my book, but he's a little bit more mature and a little bit wiser and a little bit better and all those things. And we take a immense amount of pride that our club has developed a very, very top talent. Guy played in the World Cup, played 3 games in the World Cup. Who would have known when you're watching him here at Starfire, playing for S2, my buddy Ezra Hendrickson, who would have known that knew who would have made it this far? So credit to him.
I wanted to ask you about that. What do you remember of what was the first time that they realized that this guy was going to be a first team player?
Well, you could tell. Look, the easy things in our sport to see are, well, in any sport, are you tall, are you small, are you fast, are you slow? Are you left-handed, right-handed, left-footed, right-footed? Those are the easy things to see. We all knew that Nouhou was a tremendous athlete when he got here. Some of the nuances of playing our sport, some of the intricacies of left back or center back in a line of 3 a couple years ago, those are the things where he's made strides.
With what you're doing this year, what are you looking for Nouhou to continue getting better at?
Decision making on when he can go forward, because look, we build in a different style, but he's still a left back, and there are moments in games where I think he can use his speed and talent in the attack. Obviously against our next opponent, they're a good transition team, so I'll need him to be active defending and on his toes. But I just want to keep pushing him to still work on his final pass if he does go forward. Still work on the nuances of making sure that the communication aspect, now that he speaks English, French, Spanish. I mean, he's multilingual, so making sure he communicates with his teammates, provides maybe a little bit more leadership. Lots of things.
You mentioned when Christian and Jordan signed, kind of sitting down and, making a point to kind of talk about their future. Was that a similar conversation with Nouhou as far as, off the field or things that you want from them?
We've had multiple conversations. If you're asking me more on a little personal note, I'll let you in there. I've talked to Nouhou about, maturing a little bit, some of the antics, providing leadership. He is a national team player for Cameroon. We've talked on that personal level to get him to understand that everybody loves Nouhou because he's kind of goofy sometimes. He's got a great smile. He does some crazy things on the field. At some point, you do grow out of some of that stuff. I don't want him to change, but I want him to mature and still have fun, but understand that as he develops and gets a little older, he gets more responsibility.
Do you consider him a face also of the franchise club?
I don't. You talking about like what? Like a face of the franchise?
Yeah, like Jordan and.
I don't know. I don't even know if I put those guys as a face. I mean, our club is a club. I mean, not one player is greater than the sum of all of our parts. I mean, we've had really Casey Keller, nice article. We had Marcus, we had Zach Scott, we had Oba, we had Clint. I mean, I don't buy into that face of the franchise. I think he's been a part of a lot of success. That's the way I'd put it.
Going back to your comments on LAFC, how do they look different this year compared to the way they played last year?
Well, still similar. They still play 4-3-3, and Steve's, obviously got a very talented team. They're good in transition. They'll catch you. They're good if you don't, deny interior passes. Vela is still a tremendous player. Kalini gets better, like fine wine. It's better with age. I mean, they've got a good squad.
Is there anything that you can take from the space they're in right now, where they're playing? This is going to be their 4th game in 10 days. They play tonight.
Sure.
Is there room for you guys to take anything you learned from your experience with that last year and use that to your advantage?
I haven't messaged it like that. I've messaged it as, look, they're going to have a lot of miles on them, and we want to continue, regardless of LAFC. We want, whoever the opponent is, when they come to Lumen Field, we want to play like this. So whether that's LAFC coming off 4 games in 10 days, or whether that's RSL or Colorado, or I don't even know who our next opponent is, I mean, we're going to try and still play upbeat, up-tempo, at home.
Charunto likes to press with his top players as well. Do you feel like what you faced in Cincinnati, although
Sure.
different, is going to prepare you better for this game?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The key difference there is, Pat had his wingbacks pressing very aggressively. Trundle, Steve, he's got 4 at the back. So how does he press his wide guys? How high up? Those will be some of the key points to watch for in the game.
Can you deny the interior pass without getting too compact?
Well, we want to be compact. We want them to play around.
Right.
Defend the goal is one of the key principles. But at some point, we're going to open ourselves up because we do want to be aggressive. We do want to press higher up the field. So there'll be moments where they probably get past our press, but we'll just have to recover.
It seemed like Albert got really deep last game. Is that something that, or he felt like he got pushed back? Is that something that you were...
He felt that, or you felt that?
No, I felt that. I kind of felt that. I don't know if you would agree or would disagree on that.
No, I thought him and JP were okay. I mean, the whole team was just okay.
But on that principle, on this 4-3-3 formation, is that going to become more important, that they maybe carry and break through lines differently?
For Albert?
Yeah.
Well, he's a very, very talented passer of the ball. He's got good vision. So when we build with 3, I mean, he's got to be ahead of the 3, and I don't want him dropping back all the time.
Do you then need Nico to stay more central as opposed to going left to right?
Nico's in one pocket, Christian's in the other. They can rotate. I mean, we don't mind rotating Albert a little higher, Christian out wider. I mean, there's different schemes.